Hello friends, once again welcome to Dr. Rajesh Verma's YouTube channel, and in this video I am come up with a new idea and a new topic, that is characteristics of adolescents. See dear friends, this video is part 2 of this topic, that is characteristics of adolescent part 2, and in this part 2 we are going to discuss the psychological characteristics of adolescents. Means which are the certain characteristics that to be psychological displayed by the adolescents, or we can find out through that characteristics that individual is going through the most beautiful stage of life. We call it as a adolescence. So dear friends, so we are going to discuss the psychological characteristics of adolescents. Now let us start. As you know, these are the two images in front of you. How the pressure, social or family or school pressure or college pressure on the student. You can just this image a very wonderful image, and here just contrast to this image. This adolescent needs to be independent or and autonomous. They understand and they behave and they think that they must be independent in their dressing style, whatever they use, or their body posture and anything they want, that they need independence. And here is the pressure suggested by these three peoples or four peoples on this adolescence. So this is a very wonderful stage and golden period of life. Let us understand what does this denotes. Dear friends, adolescence is the stage of development from 12 to 13, 12 or 13 or 14 years, as the climate, as the geographical location you are staying where is, to almost 18 years. From the onset of puberty to threshold of the adulthood. So more often, this stage is also known as teenage, as in English letters alphabet. The moment you start, you enter in the 13 year, that is 14. There is a teen is a word, that is a, you can say suffix is used. So in along with that, we call it as a due to that usage of teen word, we can call it as a teen age also, and lots of people call it a teenagers. The Stanley Hall, who worked extensively on adolescence, described adolescence as the period of stress and storm, and he was right in his manifestation that during this period, adolescents face numerous challenges. Their body gets new shape and new characteristics develops in their body, hormonal rush, and their behavior is entirely different to the as they were child. So during this period they face lots of challenges, and that challenges the period is known as stress and storm. Therefore, this phase of life is characterized by growth spurt. As I told you, the growth is very fast and very rapid. That is growth in both the domains, that is physical as well as psychological. They experience secondary sex characteristics as the body, the facial hairs grow, the body weight or the mass of the body is redistributed, that voice become more coarse, and so and so. This stage its own due to the growth spurt and hormonal rush and emotional rush. It's its own special psychosocial needs as well as physical needs. Dear friends, this small description of adolescence is, I think, enough for you to understand what adolescence is. So let us go for the certain characteristics that are psychological characteristics. You know, it's the phase of life where an individual is has left the childhood and entered into the adulthood. He's neither child nor adult. So that is a very interesting point. It's a, you can call it a flyover between childhood and adulthood. So that entry for the preparation. This is the nature has given this wonderful period, golden moments. That is preparation for into the adulthood. See, they experience emotional rush with frequent mood swings. That adolescents, it's very important that they face lots of challenges in life where the mood swing is very much frequent uh, due to emotional rush a high movement of emotional swinging or emotional generation. So next is, dear friends, that they display ability of abstractness and logical thinking, such as various topics such as politics, relationships, religion, and morality, etc., become more logical and comprehensive. See, the abstractness which was just missing during the childhood has gained its momentum in during the adolescence, and they start forming their beliefs and understanding regarding various topics which were not in their domain during childhood. You call it as a politics, relationships, what is the meaning of this relationship, what that particular relation connotes, what is religion, why we practice religion, and what is morality and what is ethics. Everything, these things, the child, that adolescent start thinking on these topics and start that thinking is also the logical way. And the fourth is the concept of metacognition. So, dear friends, what do you know? Metacognition is thinking about thinking. For example, suppose an individual is in low deep thinking mode, and the moment he gains some awareness that what I am thinking, what is my thought process, how that thinking affects me, these things or these ideas or this concept is known as metacognition. And the metacognition results in development of introspection and intuition process. So with you, sometimes you are aware and you feel that students feel that I had certain feeling that today I will do this activity or I can solve the problem in this way. That has you not come from anything, that has come from your inside. That is inside is your intuition, and that is the result of your metacognition. So now the next is adolescents have high level of egocentrism which led to the self-consciousness and preoccupation with self. Dear friend, that children when they do have high level of egocentrism and they behave and they show egocentric behavior, but the egocentric behavior of adolescent is entirely different from the egocentric behavior of child is egocentric in his actions and his behavior and his thinking process. Similarly, adolescent is also, but the concepts and the behavior is entirely different. Here, egocentrism rests with certain beliefs, certain new abstractness and new ideas about society, about self. And due to that egocentrism, the child, adolescent develops self consciousness. He means awareness about self and remain preoccupied with self. What is I am? How I looks? Am I attractive? Oh, and these things, these ideas are the some components of adolescents' egocentric belief. Dear friends, the adolescents tend to question the authority, whether they may be parents, they may be teacher, or them some social individual, or anyone, or their seniors. They tend to not only question the authority, they put frequent question marks, and they try to disobey. Why? Because they are egocentric. They have various two more things. In the next characteristics we'll discuss. They have the concept of immortality, invulnerability, uniqueness. These things make an individual to disobey the authority, and along with that, they do not accept the facts which are available in the society or in their domain on their face value. They tend to question even facts too. So it's a very strange and very interesting stage of life. This tendency indicates the ability to seeing things from the relative perspective in place of absoluteness. What this indicates? When they question the authority, it indicates that they think They observe the things, they think and behave on the relative perspective in place of absoluteness. Dear friends, the concept of personal fable and imaginary audiences are part of this phase of development. So, Elkind in 1967 described these two unique phenomena which are unique to adolescents. That is personal fable. What is personal fable is there are two complexes develops in the adolescents. That is idea of uniqueness and immortality or invulnerability. That is, I am unique in this world. I am only one. No one is beyond me. And immortality, nothing can happen to me. I am not vulnerable to anything. I can do anything. This is known as a personal fable. Means the story of the self. And the story is based on two complexes, that is uniqueness and immortality. So this is known as personal fable. It's a very much important characteristics of adolescent, though after a certain period of time this characteristics dissolves. Then comes the imaginary audience. The adolescent think that I am being watched, people are attentive to me, they listen to me, and he feels and and believes that there is an audience looking at me. So dear friends, they are the part of phases of this development. During this adolescent period or this stage, the self-identity and differentiated individualism is prominent during this phase of life. See, due to the personal fable or its uniqueness and everything others, that introspective or intuition, everything, there develops a self-identity. Who am I? What is my identity? Or earlier, the child was known to others through his or her parents. Now the child thinks that I am also something. There is something. I am also exist. There is an existence for me too. That led to the development of the self-identity and differentiated individualism. This means that individuals are different in their behavior, beliefs, thinking, and other activities too. So this is a very important phase where these two concepts also develops, that is self-identity and differentiated individualism. Dear friends, adulthood is the phase of life where child graduates from dependency to autonomy in actions. Earlier, child was purely dependent or partially dependent on their parents for activities, small activities. But here, even for activities which are beyond the capacity of adolescents, the adolescents are become independence. The dependency decreases, or they tend to decrease that dependency, though they are dependent in some aspect to their parents, but they show that they love independence. And in which factors in their activities, in their behavior and cognitive functioning. Dear friends, the next is very important. Peer group is more specific and have commanding authority over the group members in respect of day-to-day behavior. See, I want to make a little comparison here. During childhood, the peer group tends to change more often. Whereas in adolescent, during this stage, the peer group is more specific, more rigid, and more permanent. Due to that, the peer group has a strong authority, strong influence on the behavior of the members of that peer group, that is adolescents. So it is a very, very interesting that peer group are more prominent and display more authority and more influence on the child or the adolescents, including day-to-day behavior and other life choices. See, now dear friends, now let us conclude this. There is a cognitive development during childhood, psychosocial development, emotional development, development of autonomy and independence, specialization of interest, that adolescents choose what I want and what is mine and what I want to become, that are the no interests. Self-esteem and peer group are very important concepts, and they have big or influence on the behavior, action, cognitive development of the child, adolescent. Selection of role model and ideology orientation. Dear friends, the role model which are being selected during this period phase of life, and they tend to behave as per the role models, and the ideology is also forms new thinking pattern, also develop and reorients during the adolescence. So dear friends, these are my references. We can conclude and you can cross check them for my material. Next video will be on the problems of adolescence. That will be part 1. And by the time, thank you friends for watching this video. If you have any critical comment or anything you want to say, or you can write to me in my comment box as well as in my at you can mail me at vermasojit@yahoo.com. Dear friends, if you have any query, which I already told you, but if you like this video, kindly share with your friends. If you dislike it, then you especially kindly share with me. I'll be very happy to inculcate your comments and suggestions in the next video. Till that time, dear friends, thank you for watching this video.